Hello, welcome back to the beautiful and bugged Remnant 2. Apparently they fixed some of the issues with the Band of the Fanatic, but they introduced other problems. So right now, the miasma skill will do a lot more damage with the Band of the Fanatic, but there are a few issues with this. So as you can see, it will be 3000 damage. When you apply the Band of the Fanatic, it's 4400, but as you can see, it lasts more. How is that even possible? I don't know. The math is weird, but it checks out. So it's more damage. That's all I wanted to all I wanted to see. And this will bring it up to 4900. Now the Masma skill still doesn't get damage from all type of damage sources, but at the same time this is more than, well, this is more than enough in my opinion. Also, before we use the build, I just want to mention a couple of things. The Krell axe and the Enigma are totally busted, so if you are trying to make a DoT build, you might as well make a Krell axe build. It deals way too much damage. Did you see that? It's too much damage. I don't know, they said they fixed the Krell axe, but they apparently made it even more busted. For the purpose of the build, of course, we'll be using the Stormbringer mod, because it's supposed to increase the damage by lowering the status resistance of the enemy. We don't know what the status resistance of the bosses are, so I guess we'll just assume for now. And that's 9,000 damage for a single click, which is insane. That's probably one of the highest damage you can get in the game by just a simple click. So the Enigma is a little bit busted as well. This is just shooting all of the things that the weapon has by default. It's crazy. So basically by throwing a Krell axe and then shooting all of the mods of the Enigma, you'll deal 15,000 damage in a very short amount of time with no risk, no effort, no nothing. So you might as well just play with these two weapons if you want the damage over time build, and of course with the miasma. You can kill bosses super easy just by using these three elements that are now in the game. Now there are a few things I also like to talk about. DoT builds will not be very good, but you can replace the Sinister Totem with an Edge as Neck Coil. It will not be as good, but at the same time it will be faster, because you start with 25% from the bat instead of having to go to 50 stacks. There are also other options you can take, like this one over here, the Chains of Amplification, or even the Ankh of Power will help you pretty much. But again, it's very hard to see how the calculation affects everything, because let me show you. Okay, let's actually go on max, because I want to show you the damage of the miasma on max. And as you can see, just by using the Enigma, you can get the stacks to 50 so much faster and easier. And this will go up to 6,700 damage, which is pretty insane if you think about it, because then it will be worth using it. It will be what? 300 damage per 10 seconds. Am I doing that right? No, 3000 per 10 seconds and 300 DPS per second only from the skill alone. As you can see, it can get a little bit insane. So what else do we have over here? Now again, I'm not using that because I think it's almost like cheating, and you might as well go for other builds if you're doing it like that. I'll be going for the Creeping Mist because enemies will receive 25% more damage from status effect, and that's the whole deal. Also, you probably use the same stuff over here, except if you're not going to do... Well, no, I think you'll be using the more or less the same things. You can change this ring out for something else if you like. There are many other options. So, here we'll have skill cooldown and range crit chance, just because we'll be doing a lot of damage as well. Now, this has two builds. So the damage over time, I will have two builds for it. One will be the bleeding build, which as you can see can deal insane amount of damage. We cannot use it on the dummies. But the trick is over here that we'll have three bleeding types of damage. Also, you can use the grenades, but sadly the grenades will overstack it, so you might as well only use this one. The damage is a bit insane in my opinion, because when you get this to full swing, and also this one, you will deal so much damage. It's kind of like playing Remnant 1 almost with the bleeding build. Other than that, well, you probably know all of this stuff. So this will be fun. Let me show you the second build, which will be a damage over time build. Now again, there are many other ways to do this. It's not the best way. I just like it because I'm just throwing a lot of stuff in the enemy's face. I'm using Voltaic rondure, Fetid Wounds over there, Krell, the same thing because it's busted. Firestorm, boosting wounds, and basically the same things as well. So also remember to use amplitude. One thing I will say, if you're going to use this build, you might as well get the kinship, because you might be caught in a lot of fire vortexes depending on where you're fighting, so that will definitely help. Now the fun part about this build, again, you can just replace this with the Enigma and just use the Enigma only as the primary gun, because it will work much better in a way. The fun stuff with this will be that you'll just be destroying everything in our pathway, and everything will be recharged so fast you'll basically be a walking disaster. You'll be a walking hurricane. So yeah, again, some of the calculation is still busted, but that's the current state of the game. Let's play. Alchemist. Also, there is another catch to it. You might want to get a lot more stacks going. As you can see, I have 12 already. And you probably want to start your kind of like your full DPS once you have about 20. Especially if the boss has a weak spot like that. Yeah. Okay, so everything should be affecting our friend over here. And that's a lot of good damage, I would say. Of course, most of the damage is coming from the other sources, not exactly the bleeding. And you'll have problems refilling this skill over here, but I don't think this is such a major problem. Wow, that's a cool effect. And this time around, you'll be so much faster in your... Oh, what? That was so weird. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, it still is exactly as expected. It's a little harder to use unless you stagger them. But it does actually a lot of good damage. I like it. The build, I just wanted to showcase that this is overpowered right now. And let's see how much DPS this can really do. So only the Krell axe and these little thingies. Okay, do you need any other weapons? It's almost 20,000 DPS, well not DPS, 20,000 damage total if you just use the Krell axe and the little thingies over here. Actually I didn't have the Band of the Fanatic on when I showed this, but if you just do that type of damage, oh, it's still going. Okay, we'll try and use this build in the beginning of the game, so we can see how busted it really is. And this is the most efficient damage over time build in the game, and it's totally busted because it requires so little effort from the player. It almost makes me feel sorry for the bosses if you try it like this. Now, the miasma will do a lot of damage. And as you can see, the Sinister Totem, this all makes sense more or less. You can probably switch out the Timekeeper's Jewel, but it just kind of makes everything even more busted like this. So let's start. Sorry, Talrata. Apply the axe first. And the weird thing about this is that I noticed you can go up to 4 electric stacks, which I haven't seen anywhere else. 4 electric stacks, why? Why are you like this game? Why? Why are you not normal? And you might be thinking, well, the damage is not that crazy. Yes, it is, because I'm not even trying to kill him and his elemental resist. I think this might have slipped some people. This is just the damage ticking down on an elemental resist with an elemental build. I will spare your life this time. Let's try out the fun build now. Yeah, I feel like this should do a lot more damage, but that's how the game is currently. Also help with the enemies that have a lot of minions. And they're just launching stuff at the boss. He's also healing you, by the way. See, it's nowhere as efficient, but the damage when you have a lot of stuff in the arena will be so high that you'll kill the boss faster. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, see? He's just crazy at this point. Yeah, good luck with that. The Firestorm will destroy most of those things anyway. I don't know, it's a lot of fun to play like this. See you next time, bye!